As much as is possible, Yom Kippur is to be experienced as a corporate community event. Hi, this is Barry Phelps, a 10-minute Torah, day 4 of Yom Kippur, and we are in today Numbers, Bamidbar, chapter 29. It says in verse 7, on the 10th day of the 7th new moon, you have a set-apart gathering, and you shall afflict your beings, you do no work. And you shall bring near an ascending offering to Yahweh, a sweet fragrance, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs a year old, perfect ones they are for you, and their grain offering, fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, 1/10 each for the 7 lambs. 1 male goat is a sin offering. Besides the sin offering for atonement, the continual ascension offering with its grain offerings and their drink offerings. Now, we read all of that and we just kind of gloss over it and say, yeah. None of that really means anything to me because I don't understand what's going on in putting oil and grain with the various offerings. I don't understand the offerings. If we don't take time to study those out, we miss the importance of what's being communicated here. And I'm not going to go into an exhaustive rendering of each element here, but there are a few things that I want to point out for us today. One, it says in verse 7 that this is to be a set-apart gathering. I understand that many of our listeners, you are isolated. You are by yourself. You have really no one to meet with, to gather with. So the community, corporate aspect of this it's impossible for you. You really can't connect that way. That's unfortunate for a lot of folks, and I hate that. But there is an understanding that as you are observing, even if you're by yourself and isolated, you are participating in an event that the world is recognizing everywhere. Now, the vast majority of the world is oblivious and has no concept. But all around the world, you are vitally connected to a people who are observing. So you're home. You're by yourself. You choose to fast for the day. You spend the day in prayers, in scripture reading, focus, interceding for Israel. Understand that what you're doing while you are physically by yourself, in Yah's eyes, you are vitally connected to a large group of people who are all doing the same thing, even though the time zones are different. Yah's not limited to seeing things one time zone by the next to the next. He sees everything everlastingly, eternally the same. It's a concept that blows our minds. But he sees that. So don't feel excluded. Don't feel all alone. But recognize you're a part of a vital observance, and Yah includes you with everyone else who is rightly observing. And then it says that you are to afflict your beings and do no work. The abstinence of work and the abstinence of food, for some even water, it is a recognized corporate fast. And again, what you're doing, you may feel individual hunger pains through the day and deal with rejecting the demands and requirements of your flesh. Your body will tell you you're going to starve to death. You're going to die. You have to have nourishment. You're going to faint. You're going to pass out. None of that is really true unless you have pre-existing medical issues for reasons not to fast. You'll be fine. You will survive. But we're doing this together. So the abstinence of food and work that we're all experiencing, it is a shared community event. And so there's also then this in verse 8 that Yah says, bring an ascending offering. This is the Olah. And the book of Leviticus chapter 1, we read about the Olah. And the design of the Olah is to be elevated, to ascend, to offer the whole offering. Nothing is taken from the altar for anyone else's benefit. Everything is consumed in the flames. And the communication of this offering to Yah is that as we bring it, we're saying everything that I am is being offered to you. I am totally yours. And it's a total abandonment of self and a total giving of oneself to Yah for the benefit of being closer to Him, to rise up, to ascend, to elevate. That's what the word Ola is communicating to us. And so Israel corporately is seeking to rise up, and as a community, as a nation and people, to become close to Yah through this particular offering. He says this is a sweet fragrance. This is an acceptable offering for us to Him. So Yah is well pleased. When I walk in my home here, and my wife Laura is preparing a meal, and I'm hungry, and I walk through the door, and my nose picks up the scent of the food that is being prepared, man, that's a pleasant thing. It's like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. I'm looking forward to participating in this meal. Yah smells that fragrance, that community uprising, not in violence, not in upheaval, but in shared love and purpose, and it's well-pleasing in His sight. Then we come down to where it says that in continuance of this, in verse 11, besides the sin offering for atonement, the continual ascending offering. This is detailed for us in the previous chapter, Numbers chapter 28. In that chapter, it talks to us about the daily Tamid offering. Tamid meaning continual. This offering was in two parts. At 9 a.m. in the morning, a lamb was prepared and laid on the altar. And then again at 3 p.m., the evening offering was prepared. It's an additional lamb. Every single day, on Shabbat, on Yom Kippur, every single day, 2 lambs were offered, one at 9 a.m., one at 3 p.m. There are several occasions where you are reading the scripture about things that took place at the time of the evening offering. One in particular is when Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet, went up on Mount Carmel, and there he confronted the priests and prophets of Baal and Ashtoreth. And when they failed to produce fire from heaven for their offering, it says at the time of the evening offering. This would have been coinciding then with the daytime event of 3 p.m. This lamb is being prepared. It's laid on the altar. It was then that he cried out for Yah to hear his prayer, to forgive Israel of their sin, and to reveal he was Yah's servant, his prophet, and that Yah was the one only Elohim, the only mighty one of Israel. And Yah answered with fire. What's also interesting is that Yeshua was nailed to the tree at 9 a.m., hung on the tree until the time of the evening offering, and died at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. This chapter 28 offering, the daily Tamid, describes for us the redeeming quality of Yeshua for Israel. What a beautiful picture then for Yom Kippur, that we meet together as a community. We observe together, whether we're isolated and alone or whether we're part of a community gathering. Yah sees all of Israel at once. We together raise up before Him to be accepted by Him, giving our entire being to Him. And with that, we offer up recognition. Yeshua is our Redeemer. A lot more to Yom Kippur than just being hungry and wait until the sun goes down so you can eat. More on this tomorrow. To then, shalom.